I will be showing you guys how you make your Microsoft Flight Simulator look much more realistic in a few really easy steps. So, starting off, you have to open NVIDIA GeForce Experience panel. If you don't know what this is, you can easily download it from the web. And this is where you keep all your games and settings. So going into the settings right here, you only need this panel. Make sure to enable the in-game overlay. You are gonna need this, and enable the experimental features. This is the most important thing. If you don't do this, it will not work. Alright, going into Microsoft Flight Sim, pause the video and start your Microsoft Flight Sim, because now we're gonna apply the settings. So, casually sitting here in the cockpit in the wing view, uh, just everything is normal, nothing strange here at London Stansted. So, when we press Alt F3, you see the game filter opening, Alt F3, not Alt F4. You can also open it by Alt Z and then go to the game filter right here. So it's off, as you can see, but when I press Style 1, look at that. So it might look very exaggerated from the first view, but I can assure you when you get used to this, it will look so much more realistic. As you can see here in the cockpit as well, it looks quite exaggerating at first, but I think it looks great when you get used to it. So when we press Alt F3 again, we're now gonna see what my settings are. So you click on the first style, add a filter, brightness, contrast, and first of all start with the exposure. As you can see, it really makes a difference. I put it at about 5%. While next up the contrast, also quite important to set that right. You can set it to your own liking. You don't have to copy my settings, of course. Maybe you think I'm too exaggerated. Then you put it less or more, whatever you want. It's really up to you. So here are the highlights. I put it at 60%. Next up the shadows. This makes a really big difference, as you can see. So I put it quite high to make the shadows look much more realistic. And last up the gamma. The gamma I don't play with, as you can see right here. If you want to, you can play with it, but I don't. So moving on to the color now, you can shut the brightness and contrast tab, and next up the color. Tint color doesn't do anything when you don't add the tint intensity, but yeah, of course, as you can see, we don't play with that. The temperature though, Microsoft Flight Simulator's temperature is quite warm, as you can see right here. I put it quite cold to make it look more realistic. If you put it too cold, it will look like blue ice, but if you put it like 15, it's great. So the vibrance then, I put it at 20. It makes a big difference how colorful the colors are. Yeah, you can put it to your own liking once again. So moving on to the last tab, the details tab. As you can see, these are my settings right here. If you play with the Sharpen tab, yeah, you won't clarity, same story, do not do anything with that. But the HDR toning, on the other hand, makes a very big difference. And the bloom, yeah, you can put a bit bloom, but when you put a lot of bloom, it will not look so good. So that are my settings. I hope you find yourself some great settings as well. So now moving on to the sky and see how my settings look in the sky. Here is it a great sunset above London with the normal settings. I think it already does look amazing, but we can make it better, even better. Ta-da! It looks very exaggerated at first. I agree completely with you, but when your eyes get used to this, I can assure you it will not look exaggerated. It will look much more realistic. Here from the cockpit as well. I am in active pass, so don't have the systems running. but it just adds another feel to it. And here, when I turn it off again, it makes a big difference, and it might be very exaggerated, maybe also because of the orange livery, but it looks great. So here, taking off London Heathrow, nice rainbow in the background, taking off, of course, the British weather. This is with the filters turned off. When we turn those filters on, I don't think this is exaggerated. I think this looks much more natural, realistic, and better. Turning them off and on again, as you can see, these are my filters, the same as I used in the previous example at the sunset. I think this looks so much better. So that was it. Thank you for watching to this video. I hope you enjoyed it and made your own Microsoft Flight Simulator much more realistic. Um, don't forget to comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think of this. And yeah, I wish you a very, very nice rest of your evening, day, morning, whatever. And see you at the next video.